So by now you may have seen this story floating around. A man in Florida used AI to sell his home. No agent closing 5 days sold over 100,000 more than what every other agent told him it was worth. And good for him, and I sincerely mean that. He did his research, he put in the work, and it worked out. But here's what the article didn't say. Yes, they told you what happened, but no one actually stopped to answer the questions that actually mattered. So that's what we're doing today because I think AI is a good tool. I even use it myself, but a tool is only as good as the person that's using it and the situation is used in. And before you read one article and decide to skip professional help on the biggest transaction of your life, I need for you to have a full picture. And welcome to my channel. I am Alicia Swann, broker and owner of Swann and Associates Real Estate. And today we are answering the question, can AI really sell your home? So here's what we know from the article. He used AI for pricing, marketing, timeline planning, and even deciding which rooms he needed to repaint. He listed on a Tuesday, had 5 offers in 72 hours, and signed a contract by Sunday. And it sold, once again, for more than $100,000 more than what other agents estimated. And that's a great story with a great result. But here's what the article didn't answer. What did the actual market data say? Were there recent sales in his neighborhood that supported that price? Or did they just happen to be moving in his favor at that exact moment? The agents were $100,000 off their estimate, and that's worth sitting with. So we have to ask, were they being overly conservative? Were they trying to set expectations so low so that the home would move fast? You know, those are questions that we can't answer. But that gap is a real question worth asking about the professionals that he did consult with. And we know that he repainted some rooms because AI told him to. But at what cost? What else did he do to prepare? And would those same updates have the same impact at every market? Nobody talked about that in the article. And here's that one thing that probably got buried. He actually consulted a lawyer to review his contract, so he actually didn't do it completely alone. He had a professional still involved at the most critical moment, the legal paperwork. And I'm not saying this to dismiss what he did. I'm saying this because the context matters. And let's be honest, one success story in one specific market with one specific set of circumstances is not necessarily the blueprint for every other seller. And let's be clear, AI is a real tool and it can be used to do real things in a real estate transaction. It can help you research your market. It can help you write a compelling listing description. It can help you build a timeline, think through the prep list, and understand what questions to ask. It can give you confidence in conversations you didn't know how to start, and that is indeed valuable. And I'm not here to tell you that AI is useless. I mean, I just gave you a list of reasons why you could potentially use it, because it isn't. And I use it in my own business. In fact, one of the smartest things that was mentioned in the article is that AI gave him structure, a timeline, and a framework. And that's real. If you're a seller who feels overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start, AI can absolutely help you get organized and informed. But here's the difference between AI as a tool and AI as a replacement. AI cannot physically walk through your home. It cannot see that the kitchen feels smaller than the square footage suggests. It cannot pick up on the condition of the neighborhood in person. It cannot notice the one thing that the buyer is going to notice the very second they walk through the door. And here's the most important thing. AI cannot be held professionally accountable. So if the advice is wrong, there's no license on the line. There's no errors and omissions insurance, nobody to call, and no one that will be responsible for what happens next. And you have to remember, a licensed professional puts their name, their license, and their liability behind every transaction that they're involved in. And that accountability is not a small thing, especially when something goes sideways. And here's something else that people may not consider when it comes to AI in general. AI can be confidently wrong. There's actually a term for it called hallucination. That's when AI generates information that sounds completely accurate, looks completely accurate, but isn't. In a real estate transaction, that could mean outdated pricing data presented as current. It can mean a zoning detail that's just flat out incorrect. It can mean contract language that looks standard but has a problem buried in it that a professional would catch immediately. AI doesn't know what it doesn't know, and it won't always tell you when it's guessing. That's not a reason to never use it. It's a reason to never use it alone, especially on something this size. And if you're a buyer watching this and thinking AI is going to make your search easier, yes, it can help you with researching neighborhoods, understanding market trends, and knowing what questions to ask. But AI cannot negotiate on your behalf in real time. It cannot read the room when the seller is emotionally attached to a home. It cannot protect you from a contract clause that looks standard but isn't. Information is not the same as representation. And in a transaction this size, those things are very different things. So here's the truth and love. AI is a tool, a good one, and it's only getting better. One success story is not a blueprint. Use AI to get informed, to get organized, use it to ask better questions, and then work with professionals who can take that information and actually protect you during the process. And that's not fear talking, that's wisdom. So if you're thinking about selling with or without AI and you want to understand what that process actually looks like, I'd love to talk. The link to book a consultation is in the description. And feel free to drop a comment. Are you open to using AI to sell your home, or does it make you nervous? I genuinely want to know where you stand. And thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.